Everyone, welcome to the next Racers360 video. I'm going to go over racing or driving in the rain. We're using Road America as our kind of context here, but it can really be applied to all different types of tracks. So starting off, you'll see I'm driving down the middle of the road. I'm going to try to brake off the rubber. Off on a racetrack, you want to stay off the normal line because the rubber that we lay down is very slick. So see, I broke off the rubber, and I'm going to cross back onto it and go around the outside of the corner. One key thing about driving in the rain is experimenting. Some corners you can drive the normal line, sometimes you have to go around the outside of the corner. Every corner is going to be a little bit different, and as conditions change, that may also change. So you'll see on this lap I tried different things, and that's the key to driving a quick lap or around a racetrack quickly in the wet. See, around here, I'm going around the outside, and now you'll see I'm going to cross back around the rubber. Around turn 1 of Road America, you often want to use the opposite of the normal line. Again, I'm braking off the rubber into turn 3, and now you're going to see I'm going to cross back to set up for the turn-in, and when I cross back onto the rubber, I want my hands straight because the car could be quite slick over that normal rubbered up line. See, there I am, hands are straight, going around the outside of the corner. Now look right here, that red line there would be the normal line. You're going to see I'm going to cross over it once again, try to open my hands and try to put the power down. There's the cross. See, a little bit slick, I have to catch the car, and now I can get a good exit. So one more time, braking down the inside, I'm going to cross back over, set up for the turn-in. I'm going to run around the outside, pretty much around the whole corner in turn 1, about a car width or 2 off the apex. There it is. Now go, 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 go. See, slick again on the rubber line. Braking down the inside, going to set up again. Now focus on why I cross over the rubber is because I want to get a good exit out of here, and that's where the grip is. So I sacrifice maybe a little bit of speed mid-corner to get this run off of here, and that's why I'm doing that. So we're now going to think about turn 5, which is pretty steep downhill, and it can be quite tricky. So it's going to be a really early brake, and now I want to focus to get my hands straight as we cross this downhill, because that's really low grip even in the dry. So I've now set up the angle of the car to where I can have my hands straight as I crest down the hill and angled towards the outside to set up for the corner. So here's the crest, look at my hands, so straight, braking down the outside. Now I'm going to try something, I'm going to try to use the normal line. I turn in, see I'm already fighting the car, and then I get a big understeer. Look how much wheel I've got in the car. I now know to myself, next lap, I don't want to use the normal line, I want to run what we call a rim shot around the outside of the corner. And you'll see here, it understeers and all of a sudden hooks up right there at the end. And that's where the grip is. So now I know next lap to change my style. Turn 6, I'm braking down the inside, go back up, set up. I'm going to try the normal line once again. And I'm going to think to myself, okay, is this good, is it not good? I'm just trying to play with different things. So here's the turn-in, right where I want to be normally. And you see a lot of wheel input, but this one it kind of works. I go to throttle, but I just touched that colored curve. Any paint is really slick in the wet, so I need to avoid that. Turn 7, you see I turned in normally, and now you can immediately see I'm making the correction. Right there in the blue dot, see I'm turning left, but I'm actually going right. So I need to turn later and use more of that rim shot next lap. Again, thinking to myself, I'm always trying to experiment and figure out what's working. There it is. Now I just touched that painted curve, and see how much of a moment I just had. I need to stay off of those. So really think to yourself, stay off of any paint in the wet. So turn 5 again, braking down the inside, hands straight as you crest down the hill. I'm going to try the normal line here. It's not going to work. I'm going to slide to the outside. All of a sudden the car hooks up here. That's where the grip is. Now I know next lap. Turn 6 again. I think turn 6, I'm thinking to myself right now, on entry in mid-corner, actually works pretty well. I just need to be a little bit more patient to get the throttle stay off the painted line. Turn 7, look at this turn-in. There it is, saving the car immediately. So run more of a rim shot and avoid this paint because you can't make that save every lap. Turn 8, I'm going to brake down the inside once again. And I'm going to cross over the rubber. There it is, hands are straight over the rubber. See how far off the apex here I am. I'm a good car width or 2 off that blue dot, which is where I really want to aim the car typically, because all the other corners so far have been a good line around the outside. So now I'm trying to adjust myself to that. So again, I've gone around the outside, I've crossed over the rubber, touched just a little bit of that white line, and that's the moment I had. Now set up for the carousel. Immediately I'm going around the outside of the corner. that blue dot is usually where I want to have the car. Usually you're hugging around the inside here, but that's not where the grip is. Now look at my hands in the wet. I'm kind of having little micro inputs here that normally you don't want to have. I'm testing the grip. If I can turn and all of a sudden the car really hooks up and turns more, I know I'm not at the limit of the car. And when you run around the rim of a corner, when you don't have much room for error, as you build up to it, that's one thing I like to do to figure out where the grip is or how much grip I've got. So around outside of 8, set up, go, 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 go. Then you're going to see around the outside of the, all the way around the carousel, especially here where there's a ton of rubber laid down because you're at max load all around this corner. And I'd really know the rim job around this corner is really what you want to be doing. So now the kink, it's already sketchy in the dry. In the wet, can't really go all the way around the outside of this corner because you have no room for error. You're going to see I'm just going to be a car width off of that rubbered up line because that should have enough grip and it's going to be slick no matter what. So you just have to know that going into the corner and just really check up a little bit even more and pick your spot carefully, staying off. See, I'm about just a car width or half a car width off that apex, and that's really all you can do. There's some corners where you can't make a massive adjustment. Once again, see I'm about that car width off the apex, just off the rubbered line, just kind of holding on to it. Now, in this back section of Road America, tons of trees. As it starts to dry off, I know this is going to remain even more wet than anywhere else on track. So Canada corner, braking, I try to have my hands straight around that side, braking down the inside of the corner, and then you'll see, once again, I'm going to cross back over the rubbered line and run around the outside. So there's the crossover. Now, I'm way off of where I normally want to be. That's where the apex is. Again, I'm doing the rim shot around this corner. And that's going to allow me to open the hands earlier on exit and apply the throttle, which I've been struggling with on this lap. There's the throttle. So once again, let's look at Canada corner. A little bit more slick than the rest of the track, braking on the inside, crossing hands straight over the rubber, around the outside. Now cross over the rubber and then you can have your hands straight to really use the power and get a good shot. Billy Mitchell, it's really slick on entry. You can see I'm fighting the car. Again, I'm going to try to turn a normal line. I'm fighting it all the way out to the exit, and that's where the grip is. So next lap I know, let me rim shot it because I didn't have grip on line. So up for turn 14, I really want to have my hands straight as I crest over this hill, and now braking on the normal line. I have to brake earlier because of that rubber. I'm going to try the normal line here. You see I'm trying to run it, but look how much wheel I've got into it. I just don't have any of that front grip on the rubbered line. So once again, next lap, what do? You adjust. You try, let's say, running around the outside, cutting across the rubber, or all around the outside. You just play with different things until you find that grip, and that's where you find the lines. It's really all about that here in the wet driving. So one more time for Billy Mitchell. Look how much I'm fighting the car in entry, fighting it, then all of a sudden I find the grip right there. That's where I want to be. 14, braking normally, a little earlier. I'm going to try to get to the apex, can't do it, but then I adjust, I try to accelerate, I try to hold it a little bit more inside and accelerate off the rubber because I've realized just no grip there. So now take a look at the rest of this lap, see how I might adjust my driving as I've learned. Hopefully this will help you next time it's raining around your racetrack. Just always remind yourself, you've got to experiment, you've got to try different things, and that's how you're going to find the grip that no one else can find.